Man, and I've been like almost a couple of months since the NBA Finals, man, and I'm still disappointed in Boston. Maybe not disappointed as a team. Maybe not disappointed as a team. Maybe just disappointed in Jason Tatum. Maybe I think that's what it is. I think Jason Tatum was really what's causing the sour, the bitterness, um, the sourness and bitterness that I have towards Boston. And I'm a big Boston Celtics fan. Been rocking with Boston Celtics for a while now, and to see them reach this milestone, it's kind of bittersweet. These things happen. But before I go into the collapse of the Boston Celtics in the finals, big shout out to Golden State. Big shout out to Golden State, man. I mean, of course, it's Steph Curry, man. Come on now, it's Steph Curry. So, I mean, of course, they was going to put up a fight. Of course, it was going to be a difficult task to knock off Golden State. Steph Curry, Thompson. Come on, you had Wiggins step up, Draymond Green. I mean, you had players step up. Like I said, Wiggins, Poole. You know what I'm saying? The new guys that came in. Um, so it was a difficult task. It was a tall order for Boston to come in, even though Boston is a young team. It was a tall order to have veterans on the team that was still there. It was a tall order to ask of Marcus Smart. It was a tall order to ask of Jalen Brown, Jason Tatum. It was a big tall order for these guys to do to accomplish to accomplish that, man, to knock off Golden State. You know what I'm saying? So big shout out to Golden State again, man. They deserve it. But I'm just disappointed on how it unfolded. You know, after the Milwaukee series, I think that's when I seen the I think I seen Boston deflate. I don't know if it was fatigue. You know what I'm saying? 82 games is a lot of games. You know what I'm saying? Taking planes back and forth to these playoff runs. I guess fatigue can set in, and I guess that it can be a lot. I guess it can take a toll on you, but that comes with being champions. You know what I'm saying? You have to stay motivated, I guess. But the collapse of Boston, going back to the Milwaukee series, everybody played like a well trained, like a mechanism. It was great to see Boston on this run, see Boston knock off, Brooklyn, and Brooklyn was the team to win it. Brooklyn was favored to go all the way. In the 2022 NBA Finals, and to see Boston do that kind of raised some heads. Like, yo, okay, we might got something here. You know what I'm saying? So after beating the Nets and KD, he was cresting his trade right now, but I get into that later. But KD didn't have a good series, didn't have a good playoff series either, to me. You know what I'm saying? But when Boston knocked off the Nets and they went in to play Milwaukee, that was a statement series to me, because Milwaukee was the champions last year. And they had everybody back except Middleton, and I think Middleton could have been a big factor, whether if the Bucks could have moved on in that series. But when Boston beat the Nets and went on to play the Bucks, Boston was looking like a championship team. Tatum was looking like a statement player. Like, I'm going to put the Celtics on the map. Like, I'm going to be that guy. Marcus Smart, Jalen Brown, Al Horford. These guys on that court was looking good. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if fatigue set in. Um, it could have it was interesting to see this team deflate after the it was interesting to see um how they just deflated like that, you know. Um, it it was crazy, you know. Derek White was coming alive in his own, you know what I'm saying. Robert Williams was doing this own thing. Marcus Smart was a defensive player of the year, and for them to knock off the Bucks was crazy to see. It was real crazy to see, man. And then to go into the Miami Heat game and they struggled. And I actually thought that Miami had a chance to knock off Boston. And it was crazy to see. It was crazy, it was mad crazy to see. Um I don't think that Boston I don't think it was luck that Boston made it as far as they did. I honestly think that I honestly think fatigue set in. I honestly thought that the first two games with Golden State that Boston could win. Cause I remember in that first game, Steph Curry was knocking down threes at the half, and at halftime, the score was still 50-52. It was still close. You know, as much effort as Curry was balling, he was balling big time, and Boston was still hanging around. You know what I'm saying? And I honestly think that fatigue did play a factor in the deflation of the Boston Celtics. Um, Jayson Tatum, don't know where well, I don't know where he went mentally. I don't know. I don't know what happened. Um, it was just crazy to see Jason Tatum deflate in those defining moments. I think in defining moments like that, in statement games, you have to show up and you have to define yourself as a player. And those statement games don't come around a lot, you know. And for example, last year with Chris Paul in Phoenix, you're supposed to be that guy to make an example, to be a statement player. You know what I'm saying? And it just didn't happen. Like this year, everybody thought that Phoenix was gonna go on to make another run like they did last year, and it just didn't happen. And Jason Tatum, this NBA Finals, the 2022 NBA Finals was a statement finals for you. And everybody says, "Oh, no, he's young. He's still 24 years old." You know, and I get that. I understand he's 24 years old and he has a lot of growth and time to develop himself, but that those moments don't come around often to redeem yourself in sports. Those the time is always shifting. New players always come in, trades get made. The it's not always the same each time around. Like you're not going to see the same player. Players get better. The mechanics, it always shifts. You know what I'm saying? So once you have the opportunity to be great, now is the time to be great. And I don't think Jason Tatum was great in these NBA finals facing Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors. You just wasn't great, and to have 11 points in a game 6 and to always complain about being fouled or calls or calls not being called is just crazy to me. And you not having that defining game or not having that moment to show up for the Boston Celtics is crazy. It definitely is crazy. But these things happen in sports. Expectations be high for certain players, and players do not live up to those expectations. You know what I'm saying? And Marcus Smart, always stepping in front of players, trying to draw the charge, and you're getting blocking fouls. After one or two times, you think you switch it up and do something different, but no. And it was just the collapse of the Celtics was just crazy, and it was so disappointing to see. For me, I don't even think I entirely watched Game 6 to get blown out. I think to get blown out by 20 points in a defining Game 6, it's like, you know what? Don't worry about it. We'll try again next year. That's not always the case for next year. You know what I'm saying? The Grizzlies looked at promising had not Ja Morant gotten hurt. I think that whole series would have went differently had not Ja Morant would have gotten hurt. You know what I'm saying? So there's always a shift and change in times to be great, that you have to step up to be great. And the Celtics, they missed that opportunity. I know the trade and free agency and all that's coming up in the NBA, but I'm just so disappointed that Al Horford, he's up there, and this is his first NBA Finals, and he didn't get to walk away with one. You know what I'm saying? He didn't get to walk away with one. And Derek White was doing so good, man. He looked so promising. Like, oh man, you might have to put you on the starting five. You know what I'm saying? Looked so good, but it just didn't happen for you in Game 5 and 6. Like, everybody collapsed, and everybody looked so fatigued. Robert Williams was holding his own. Like, there was a few players who held their own. Like, big shout out to Al Horford. He did his thing. Like, he fought to the end, man. Like, if there was a trophy for fighting to the end, Al Horford should get one. Jaylen Brown definitely should get one. And it's just crazy to see the collapse of Boston in this 2022 NBA Finals, man. So hopefully in free agency, man, and in trade, they can pick up some good players to help revamp this squad. But as far as Jayson Tatum goes, my take is, like Eminem say, man, you only get one shot. You only get one shot to be great, because these mechanics, they shift. Each year is a different year. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully, now I'm not taking away from Jayson Tatum. Jayson Tatum is a big power forward, man. I mean, he played that position good. Like, I'm not taking away that he didn't ball out this whole season. Like, he definitely deserved to be the face of the Boston Celtics. You know what I'm saying? Don't let me talk as if I'm going against Jayson Tatum. I'm just disappointed in the Game 6 Jayson Tatum, the NBA Finals Jayson Tatum. I'm disappointed in that guy. But pre-finals Jayson Tatum is just crazy. You know what I'm saying? He was balling out in the Boston, in the Nets, when they played the Brooklyn Nets. It was crazy to go to beat Blake Griffin and Kyrie and Kevin Durant to take that squad down. It's crazy. You know what I'm saying? To go on to play Milwaukee and to take down the Freak. It's crazy. You know, Drew Holiday is a beast. Drew Holiday, that whole starting five for the Milwaukee Bucks is crazy. And for you to beat them guys and to move on to the NBA Finals is crazy. So those are big feats right there. But to see it deflate, to see it deflate is disappointing and disheartening in its own. And to see the points, and to see you not show up, to see you pass the ball, and to see you're a power forward. Power forwards are supposed to be the ones that powers shoot and drive and make it happen. You know what I'm saying? Easy buckets was missing easy buckets right at the rim. You know what I'm saying? Even the free throws was just missing free throws that could have helped. You know, and I just think that the collapse of this Boston Celtics team against Golden State was very crazy for me. Jayson Tatum, I wish him all the best going forward. I'm still gonna be a Boston Celtics fan. Don't get it twisted. I just think that in those moments you have to compete and you have to understand that these are critical moments and you can't let that pressure get to you. You definitely can't let that pressure get to you. So I'm gonna move on from that, man, and going into the free agency and the trade. Speaking about trade, big shout outs to my Boston Celtics though, man. They put up a good fight, man. Big shout out to my Boston Celtics, man. I'm gonna stop ranting on my Boston Celtics. But speaking about free agency and trade and all that good stuff, that's since then. Like I said, congratulations to Golden State. Um, KD, request a trade from the Nets. He won out. I mean, I just think that players nowadays are only chasing. They're only chasing, like, the NBA now to me is always about that ring, man. You know what I'm saying? And like it's a whole different vibe from the late 90s, early 2000s. You know what I'm saying? When you stayed on a team to build that team, I think I don't know if it's more rewarding to win with the guys that you stuck it out with, or it's more rewarding to just get a ring. I don't know. I don't know what's more rewarding, the ring or or sticking it out with the guys to win it with. You know what I'm saying? But KD requested the trade. He's dipping on Kyrie. A lot of people are saying he's going to Phoenix. A lot of people are saying he's going to the Lakers. I don't know where he's going to go. KD is a great player. So anybody who gets him, they're going to get a superstar of a player. You know, KD, he's come on now, he's KD. You know what I'm saying? But I just kind of wish that, stay around for a little bit. Just because you have a few losing seasons, I don't know. Things don't work out. Now you're requesting the trade because everybody is just chasing that. Is just chasing that trophy. Everybody wants that MVP. That's just what that's just what the NBA is all about now. Is the ring solidifies you into history, you bragging rights. I don't think nobody really cares about you sticking it out with the team and being loyal anymore. I don't think that's cool, or no, I don't think that's what's up. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't got the ring at the draft parties or at the cocktail parties, you really not saying that. You really not making a statement. And yeah, I was with Utah for 7 years, man. My squad was pretty good, but if you don't have the ring to show for it, I guess that's not cool. You know what I'm saying? So, I appreciate loyalty. Like, I remember, like, I'll take Utah Jazz, Karl Malone, John Stockton. You can't get no more loyal than that. You know what I'm saying? Them guys was super loyal. You know what I'm saying? But the NBA has definitely changed, man. It's a definitely different vibe from when I watched the NBA. When I was growing up watching the NBA, I still watch the NBA. Don't get it twisted, but it's a whole different vibe now, man. Just waiting to see what's gonna happen. I just want to speak my piece on the collapse of the Boston Celtics. I get over it one day, man. Maybe next year they'll bring a championship back, and I get over it. Miami, I would have rather had seen if Boston was gonna play like that. I would rather had seen the Bucks than Boston. If they was gonna collapse like that, I rather would have seen Miami be in it. If Boston was gonna play like that, you know what I'm saying? Miami was doing Jimmy buckets. Jimmy was balling against Boston. You know what I'm saying? And took them all the way. You know what I'm saying? Took them all the way. and I would have rather seen a good. I rather seen a team that was willing to go all the way than see how Boston collapsed in that game 6, in that finals period. You know, but that's just my take on it. That's just what I seen on how I seen the Boston Celtics and the Golden State Warriors. Like I said, big shout out to Golden State, Wiggins, Draymond Green, Andre. I'm glad that boy got him another one. Poole, that whole squad, the bench, the whole Golden State bench came clutch. Everybody on that squad in Golden State was clutch for them, man. Big shout out to Steph Curry. Greatest shooter of all time, man. Definitely GOAT status, man. Definitely. So, man, that's just my take on the collapse of the Boston Celtics. Hopefully, Jayson Tatum. I'm pretty sure he'll be all right. I think he'll redeem himself next year with a lot of training, coaching. I think he'll be all right. But like I said, in those moments to be great, you definitely have to want to take advantage of those because you just never know. Sports, trades, free agency, everything changes year to year, and you facing different beasts again. You're facing different mechanics, different coaches. The whole playground changes year to year. So maybe next year, I don't know if that's going to be greater to win it again, to try to win it again. You know what I'm saying? But those things definitely do change, and so in those moments, you definitely want to have to try to be great. But that's just my take on the collapse of the Boston Celtics, man. I'm still a true Boston Celtics fan. Don't get it twisted. Big shout out to all my Boston Celtics head out there. Thank you for listening to this pod. Y'all, please be safe this 4th of July. Please continue to listen to the pod. If it's something on here that you want to address or feel like, I was wrong about something, please reach out to me on the CSP show. Please continue to be safe. This is your boy YM, and I'm out.